This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. I think you would agree that we have choices in everything we do. How you react to something is a choice. What you're going to do in 5 seconds from right now, you're making a choice. A lot of times we say in life, oh, I can't believe this happened. Oh, okay, I get that. Things present, but you have a choice in terms of how you want to react or deal with that. What about true choices? Have you made true choices? I'm actually very surprised to hear what a true choice is. We're going to share that. Actually, she's going to share that. She's an amazing transformational life coach and joins us once again. Farrell Minaker is back on the program. How are you doing today?
Awesome, Steve. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk about this topic. We always seem to have a good time on your show.
Oh, well, thank you for bringing this to our attention because a lot of times we're guided and piloted by others, and our actions reflect others. True choice is not so much that. I'm gathering. What is a true choice? Let's go there.
So the short answer is a true choice is something that you choose to do for no other reason than just because you would love to choose doing that, or you just love to have that, right? If you choose something for any other reason, it's not a true choice.
So give me an example of your last true choice.
My last true choice. Oh, there's been a lot of choices lately. Example of my last true choice. Well, I don't know if I could. That's a tough one because there's been so many of them but I could give you an example of, I was at a pig roast actually on the weekend, and we kind of got into the conversation of people and talking about their true choices and how do they know when it's something that they should pick, right? So first of all, it feels really good, right? So somebody was telling me that they had quit drinking and it's been almost 4 years and they were doing awesome. I said, well, so that's a true choice right there. You have chosen to stop drinking and you've continued to choose that every single day. And why did you choose that? Because it feels really good to choose that, right? It literally changes your reality when you choose. Like that's a big one right there, right? That's a really hard choice for a lot of people. So, and what we had talked about is that before, when they chose to just go and, they go have a binger, or, they'd go out and something would happen in their life and they'd start drinking, and, so they would choose that instead. But it always felt bad. You always wake up with a hangover. You always feel awful the next day or dehydrated. And so that choice wasn't really a true choice for them, at least. I mean, it's a little different if you just, you go out, socialize and have a few drinks with friends. But I think this is an actually really great example, a really important example, that in his life, he knew that he needed to make this change. And it was really hard at first because our minds want to resist something new.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he kept choosing it over and over again. And it wasn't necessarily choosing that I want to be sober. It was choosing, I want to be healthier in my own life. Right. So there's the difference of a true choice. So another example would be money, right? We all, or most people, we want to choose to have all kinds of money. Everybody says, I'd really love to win the lottery, or I'd just love to have all that money that all those rich people have. And, and that's not really what you want. At the end of the day, I don't want to make a lot of money just to have a lot of money. Money isn't the real true choice. For me, that choice is, I would love to have more money that I can spend so that I can take care of all the people around me that I love. That's a true choice, because for no other reason than because I'd love to choose that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Crystal clear. It seems like it's almost a choice coming from your true, authentic self.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. And we make a lot of choices based on exterior reasons. Like you may decide to do something, but you know it's also going to make somebody else happy. And that's okay. And I guess if that's your true choice to make others happy, but are you really doing it because let's say you're a people pleaser? A lot of
Hmm.
us are for a lot of different reasons. A lot of those reasons go back to our childhood. That's for another
Yep.
podcast. But that choice, are you doing it for other reasons? I want them to still like me. So I want to do that, yes, but I'm also basing it off of external sources. It's got to be your true choice. Like my brain is swelling right now. Like, what would be my last true choice? Like you, I'm like, I don't know. I just, there's always chords connected to others and, external reasons. I would say maybe earlier, a month ago, 3 weeks, whatever, I went on a trip and it was just
Hmm.
I'm going away. I'm doing my own thing. And I guess that was a true choice. It was kind of weird. I've never done it before, but that was for me. I wanted peace, relaxation, reflection, read a little bit, whatever it might be. So I'd have to say that was a true choice. There wasn't
Nice.
any other, and I was talking with others, going away. Why don't we go together? Blah 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 blah. It was too much work. I was like, dates. Blah, blah. I'm just doing my thing. So I would say that's
Nice.
probably a true choice. I'm trying to strip everything around it away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you were doing it because you just love the idea of doing it, and to heck with everybody else, you're still choosing it regardless. And so you didn't allow yourself to base your decision on what other people were choosing. You based it on what you wanted.
And even there was somebody I work with in the same area where I travel to outside of the country, but I
Okay.
made it clear, don't think about me. You don't have to hang with me. They were with somebody, like, do your own thing. Even he would, text me the next day, hey, you want to get together dinner? Hey, it's good. I appreciate that. I'm fine. I didn't want to have anybody else influence what I was doing.
Yeah, I
But
love
yeah,
it.
yeah, I think most of us don't make true choices.
Yeah, I think that's it's not necessarily their fault. People
Yeah.
weren't taught these things. They didn't learn these things in school. Their parents didn't know these things, so they couldn't pass that information down onto them either, right? So
Hmm.
I think a lot of it is just becoming aware and learning how to tell what a true choice is, because a lot of people we base our decisions on other people around us. We base them on our environment. We base them on, a lot of different factors.
Mm.
And I mean, that is life. That happens, right? However, when you really want something, like, let's say, for instance, that new car that you see everybody driving around in that you were talking about, right? You're you may not have gotten there yet, and sometimes it takes a little while for that true choice to materialize in your reality, because there's no real set time limit necessarily, but you're choosing it because you'd really love to have that car. I could see myself driving it. I'd really love to have that, right?
But it's also, this is, there's a lot involved here because this is also making us think about why we make that choice. That car
Yep.
I talked about, manifest it. Do I need it? No, I really don't. Um, do I love technology and vehicles? Yes. I got a car recently, January, and
Hmm.
you know, I would say I kind of treated myself with it,
Nice.
and that was a true choice. That was I'm I love that car. I gotta say it. I don't say that often, but like they had a couple little things had to be worked out technologically in the beginning, but like I feel we're good together. I know that sounds ridiculous.
No, not at all.
Do I need the other car? Someday, when you get to that point, whatever it might be, I know I really don't. Would it be cool?
Yep.
Yeah. And then you got to really analyze why you want these things. Like you said, millions of dollars. Yeah, it'd be nice. Do you really need that? Is that a true choice? I get what you're saying about taking care of others, but that's an outside influence, or is that a true choice? You follow where
Well,
I'm
for
going?
me, that's a true choice.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For other people, it might be different. That me personally, again, and it's different for everybody, right? Somebody else, if you're choosing, if you're wanting to choose to have money because you're broke, that's not a true choice. You don't want money because you're broke. You just want to not be broke. You want to not be in poverty. You want to feel comfortable in life, but you don't, it's not necessarily the money that you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, with me, and this is different than money, but I really wanted a truck. And everybody's like, "What? You're so little. You're like 5'3". What do you need a truck for? You know, do you need to haul stuff? Do you got to pull things around? Do you need to trailer things? No, I just really love to have a truck. I've just always really loved trucks. And I just, for no other reason, I wanted that. Whereas somebody else, they might want a truck as a true choice for their business. Well, I'd really love to have a truck because it would make my business so much easier. It'd make it so much more efficient and practical to have this bigger vehicle to tow things around. That might
Sure.
be their true choice, right?
Does the do we know, Farrell, that the true choice is a true choice because you feel it in your gut. You feel the intuition. You feel it as opposed to just think it.
Absolutely. You do. I don't know that everybody is aware of that. I think some people are still at the learning stage down here. They haven't quite understood their own gut reactions or how their bodies react to things. So
Yep.
that's a learning experience as well. But yeah, you absolutely do feel it, and it should feel light. It should feel really good, right?
Mm,
If it doesn't, and you feel awful or you feel sick, then and heavy, then it's not a true choice either.
I
But
totally
there's
got
there's
you. Yeah. We could do another podcast on intuition.
we
Right?
totally
Like
could.
how you know how you feel. And side note, just as an example, the trip I referred to,
Mhm.
I've been wanting to go to that spot since December, and I only just
Okay.
went a few weeks ago. Why? Why didn't I go? My intuition.
Mm.
I asked, like, give me, what do you got? What do you got? And something said no. And I was like, yeah, just do something different. Go, around the holidays. Yeah. Something said no. Well, guess what? I get a text from the person that's there, and he said, hey, bro, don't come here now. Where I'm at this location, and it's an Airbnb, we lose power every day between 9 a and 3 p. It's like, there's no air conditioning. There's no, hot water. There's no internet. You
Oh,
can't
no.
even work. You can like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just wait on that. And then I waited another month. And then some medical things presented I needed to take care of, nothing super major. There was an intuition, like something was telling me, wait, tap the brakes. So I waited and I waited
Yep.
and I waited. I listened to it and it's right. It's always right. Never going to steer you wrong.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too, is I think when we even when we make the true choice, the other thing that people need to be aware of is to not force it, right? Because we want it so badly that then all of a sudden, instead of just allowing it to happen and come naturally, we try to force things and push it towards the direction because we want it and we want it now. We're so in a world right now where everybody just expects everything to just be now. I have to have it now because I decided it. I thought about it and I want it right this very second. And we have to learn the patience of allowing the universe to give it to us when it's the right moment.
We're on universal time, yes, and we're all programmed with Amazon and fast food and everything else to get it now, but it doesn't work that way. So I'm trying to process this better. Should every choice be a true choice?
I think it would be, I mean, in reality, when if you're looking at the law of attraction, right? We're constantly choosing, we're constantly picking things and not even being aware of it. So yeah, I think we are always choosing our true choices, but it's because it's so automated and we're not aware that we're doing it all the time. We're not necessarily creating what we would love to have for really, like, so if you're sitting in lack, I think we talked about that last week or the week before. If you're sitting in lack and you're constantly thinking about how you have nothing, you wish you had more, and you're constantly thinking about all that negativity, right? And I'm never going to get out of this, I'm always stuck. Well, then the universe keeps going, okay, here, well, I'm giving you what you're thinking about. There's no bias with the universe. It's not like yes or no and it or good or bad. That's not what the universe is really about. It just says yes, you want this, you keep thinking about this, that must
Mhm.
be a true choice that you want, so I'm going to keep giving you what you keep thinking about and keep trying to manifest. So
Absolutely. Yeah, it's almost as if it's hearing you. Oh, here you are. Like I wish I'm not gonna never gonna make enough money. I just not gonna happen. I just like bills month to month. I'm just making it. That's your language, and now the universe and your subconscious listening and saying, "Oh, that's what you're talking about. I'm gonna give you more of that. Yeah, yeah.
yep,
That's I want to support you with more of that because that's what you're thinking. That's must be what you want,
yes,
but it's
it's
obviously not."
consuming you. And those are true choices, because you really are only ever given what you keep choosing. The trick
Mm,
is
mm,
to become aware of that, and take better control, or better take better care, more be more cautious about what you are constantly choosing, right?
mm.
So learning how to shift out of that mindset of lack, for instance, and start shifting that towards something else, and catching yourself with going, oh, right, I keep thinking about all that stuff that I don't want. Okay, I need to shift my focus to here's what I really do want, and write down your true choices. I choose the end result of blank. I choose the end result of being in a relationship that I love with somebody who treats me great. We have wonderful communication and mind blowing sex. Do you know what I mean? Like, that could be a true choice, because if that's what you really love, right? Then you write all these choices down, or having a great business, or
Yep.
really breaking it down, and finding the root cause of why you would really love to have something for no other reason than because you'd love to have that. And when you start focusing on your true choices, because there's four core choices actually. Um, and that's from I learned that actually from Chris Duncan and Hannah Nines. They do your true choices. So, like, for instance, number one, in no particular order, would be I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. I choose the end result of health and vitality. I choose the end result of living the life I love and loving the life I live. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my reality. And then you choose your own, right? So you have a base here of these are the things that I choose, and that's what I go through with my clients as well. And then we figure out what's a real true choice for them that they would love to have in their life that they don't currently have, and focus on that, so that, and use different tactics and things to shift their mindset. And you start to actually reprogram your brain, because our brain there's neural pathways, right? And every time you learn something new scientifically, and you can look this up too, there's actually videos showing when your neurons connect new pathways in your brain when you've learned a new skill. And the more that you repeat that, and the more that you practice it and focus on it, the stronger those neural pathways become, and the more it becomes like a new habit. And
Mm.
you start shifting that towards where you would like to be in life now, because you're the one that's actually choosing it instead of allowing it to be automated in your brain, in your unconscious.
Many of us, I believe, forget that. And that feeling of learning something new, the accomplishment and whatever it is, doesn't matter. That the excitement, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Wow, why did I put that off for so long? I should have started digging into that sooner. But it's almost as if it gets a little addictive, where it's like I learned that. Let me look into a little bit more. Like people who do what you do, I find anybody call it in the metaphysical, even the coaching world, it's almost like an addiction to learn more, to help more.
Yeah.
Like what else? Once you learn something, you want to learn something else and learn something else because it just feels good. You've
Yeah.
learned for you and then for somebody else. I want to ask, I want to ask you, being someone that has manifestation figured out and makes true choices, analyzes and processes, all of this, has the stuff that you've wanted in life shown up? Well, no, not everything. That's the way it is. Again, we're on
Mhm.
universal time. Do you feel it's coming though?
Yeah,
Yeah, I,
absolutely.
I do too. I do
Yep.
too. Hey, can it get frustrating along the way? Yes. Do you have to keep
Yeah.
yourself in check? Yes. Like all of that. But like floating out there, it's like, yeah, I gotta wait a little. The perfect person. I gotta wait a little bit longer, but it's on
Yeah.
it. It's on. It's gonna show up. You got to be patient. It's universal time.
That's right. And you also have to, I guess, in layman terms, you have to just kind of get out of your own way sometimes,
Mm.
to allow it to happen. And I mean, there's, of course, there's other factors, there's other people involved in your reality, but that's why I love the being choosing to be the predominant creative force in your reality. Things aren't going to happen the way that you necessarily want them to with other people, because again, there's that free will thing, right? You can't really force that on other people, but it can show up in your life when you're choosing it for you. So
Mm.
yeah, sometimes you just have to get out of your own way and just allow it to flow towards you, and be okay with it showing up when it shows up.
I love what you said before, in that it's almost the what's your why. So we'll go with the example, closing out today. You want that perfect person to show up in your life, mind blowing sex, connection, all of that. But why? Why? Yes, it sounds great. Have that, this is my other half, blah, blah, blah. Why? Then go deeper. I want to share my life with them. I want to show them love. I want to take care of them in the way that, I'm nurturing, I'm empathetic. What's the why? I don't think we do that. Back to the
It's
sports
literally
car.
just because I'd love to choose that. I just, for no other reason, I would just love to have this. There should be no excuses attached to it, or because this or because that. It's, I just love to have it for no other reason. It just because I just love to. I just would.
There's nothing wrong with
It
that
just
either.
feels good to have that. I would just love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you're going deeper and you're asking other questions, then that is just uncovering what your actual true choice is, right?
Yes, that's where I'm going with that, based on what
Yeah.
you said before. Why do you want that? Is that really your true choice? That sports car. Do you want that because you really want it?
Yep.
You love the technology, you love the brand, blah, 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 whatever. Or do you want it because you want people to see you rolling down the street in that? Is that really a true choice, or is that based on others' perception? And
Yep.
I don't think we whittle it down even more to why the why. Why do you want to make that choice? Is it really a true choice? Uh,
Yep.
Honestly, I didn't think we'd be doing a whole podcast on this today. Like, but it's so important because the choices we make a lot of times are based on outside factors.
Yep.
Outside factors.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
here's a really fun exercise that you can do if you want to uncover your true choice,
Hmm.
is when it comes up and you say, I want this. I want that fancy sports car. Then you ask yourself, well, what would having that give me? And then answer that. And then you ask yourself, and how does that benefit me? And then you just keep asking those two questions over and over again. And it's amazing the amount of stuff that comes up that you didn't even realize you knew about yourself.
Yes. It's so true. I see it. As we're talking, I'm processing it. And I think we might be a little surprised once we start asking those questions, and those things that we think we want, we might not really want them. And it's not a true choice. It's not a true
Or
choice.
we might want them for a totally different reason than we thought.
Right. Right. But it may be because of other factors, and it really wasn't, coming from within as a true choice. I've never heard of true choice before until today, and I love it. I think it's great. How do we connect with you, Farrell?
Yep. So you can connect with me through my email, which is fjminaker at fjminakercoaching@gmail.com. And the website, they are still working very diligently on it, but and it will be up and running at some point. But for now, email, Facebook, you can connect with me there as well, and look me up. And yeah, we can definitely talk more about this, or find a whole bunch of different topics that I feel like I could probably talk to you about just about anything at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you make it very easy to understand. Like we can apply this to ourselves and process it. It doesn't get too deep. It's a little woo. I get that for some of us. Your last name is Minaker. Just want everybody to know. Thank you for today. Got lots to think about.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I can't wait till we get back to our next episode next week.
Likewise.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.